One day, this is the third chapter, it's called The Identification of the Soul. One day, they call me a Sissi. It was Marcus Bauer who, for no reason, called me a Sissi and gave me a punch in the gut at the school door in front of everybody. It was a deliberate insult which kept echoing in my head forever. He would mimic my gestures, laugh at me, ridicule me. He made me feel fear and shame. He turned my life into a hell. I started to think of suicide. I was 8 years old. Before I went to sleep, I would invent perfect plans to murder Marcus Bauer. Years afterwards, I was delighted to discover that he died young, even younger than I did. The fact that he had died before me, and therefore lived for fewer years, gave me a sensation that destiny had done me justice and that at the end of the story, I was right and he was wrong. You see the irony, don't you? When I was still alive, I Googled his name, Marcus Carmenzini Bauer, in between quotation marks. No result appeared. Who doesn't exist on the internet? Only those who died before the beginning of the internet and did nothing relevant. That should have been his case, because there was always something, a traffic ticket, a public record, something. It was his brother, Fabio Ivan, who told me that he had died at 18, but he didn't give any details. In a 25th high school reunion, I was talking with a classmate and learned that his corpse had been found drowned in a dam on the Pinheiros River on Christmas. The circumstances didn't reveal whether his death was accidental or suicide. I confess I felt a bit of pleasure to discover, even so late, the tragic details of the death of Marcus Bauer. I tried to put aside that feeling, but I couldn't manage to. For many years, I was grateful to Marcus Bauer for the early warning. He gave me the sense that to be a sissy wasn't good. I had time to prepare myself. For years, I valued his lesson. Not that I knew this from the beginning, but I learned in enough time for me to forget when I first realized it. I didn't know whether this existed everywhere, whether everyone felt this way. Until the day of my death, however, I remembered the smell of chlorine on the body of the swimming teacher. In my memory, there was no earlier embrace. If you asked me yesterday, 10 minutes before I died, if I still remember the smell of chlorine on the body of the swimming teacher, my answer would have been yes. 3 times yes. I could have described it. My child's head against the teacher's wet chest, his body hair, the steam rising from the swimming pool, lukewarm water entering my nostrils, me in his arms, his hands on my body, holding me, teaching me how to swim. The attack of Marcus Bauer came as a surprise. I concluded that